the best sound. First up is every Republican's favorite Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett, who makes an absolute fool out of herself when she's asked to correct the record on Lee Zeldin taking donations from not that Jeffrey Epstein.
That is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now, have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not.
But is Crockett a bigger fool than former First Lady Michelle Obama playing the victim card about hairstyles?
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern. So when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim. And we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym.
Or how about Michelle's husband's lookalike, Brooklyn Obama, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, blaming the housing crisis on, you guessed it, weather.
We know that homeownership has always been central to the great American dream. And so it's incredibly important that we deal with the climate crisis, because there is only one Earth.
Hakeem Jeffries' true lookalike, look this up, fancy Squidward. You will never be able to unsee it. A late entry to this game, as if the California governor's race couldn't get any worse, with Katie Porter, of all people, leading the charge. Here's Eric Swalwell with this announcement.
I've been in these fights as a city council member up in Dublin, my hometown, as a prosecutor in Oakland, and taking on the most corrupt president ever in the U.S. Congress. But I'm ready to bring this fight home. So I came here tonight, Jimmy, to tell you and your audience that I'm running to be the next governor of California.
You know, to date myself, I remember when late night was funny. Now, lastly, this one goes to a group of Democrats, donkeys, encouraging members of the military to defy orders from President Trump.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
That text on screen just looked increasingly Orwellian to me. All right, squad, now it is time to crown our donkey of the week. Honestly, the only way that I know that it's Friday is when I hear that beautiful noise in my ears. Now, Ashley, we're going to start with you.
Yep.
Who is your donkey of the week?
I'm going to go with Slotkin and those Democrats. I think it was a big PR stunt all along, and I think some Republicans might have fallen for it a little bit here. But, you know, she went on, Stephen Colbert, and said, you know, she doesn't believe in, I would say, the kind of the establishment or kind of the dark web of the Washington swamp, when she is a CIA officer herself and spent most of the years there. So it's kind of hard to believe coming from her.
Chris, your donkey of the week?
And she worked under John Brennan at the CIA, the Communist Party voter and penitentiary.
He should have been in that group.
Always.
So,
yes.
Yeah, he should be in every week, the donkey of the week. This is a tough one, and I got to say, the Democrats, the Slotkin video, inciting insurrection and civil war, I think that's a pretty good one. But since you grabbed that first, I'm going to go with Eric Swalwell, because he's also the donkey of the week in Beijing, where his controller, Fang Fang, is just the greatest hero in the history of Chinese intelligence operations run inside the United States. They're high-fiving all over the place. They got posters of Fang Fang on the walls at the Chinese intelligence organizations because they've got Eric Swalwell. Now he's going to ascend to the governor's mansion in California, and the Chinese are, honestly...
Honestly, Chris, so I feel bad for Fang Fang having to have Swalwell as your honeypot. All right, Alex?
I feel like I have to go. It was hard because I wanted to say Swalwell just because I'm excited to watch him and Katie Porter debate. I think that'll be fun to watch. But to Ashley's point, I think what those Democrats did with talking about following illegal orders, I think it was dangerous. It was extremely dangerous rhetoric. It could confuse service members who might be, I guess, sympathetic to their political leanings. And then none of them could say what was illegal. I mean, that was just very problematic.
Information. truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.